So it's a Greek name, okay? It means doll, okay? So it all started by, you want to hear the story? You want to hear this? It all started that my grandmother was traveling, and when I was born, she came from her travels and she looked at the crib and she was like, oh my God, مين فيهم كوكلا? مين فيهم العروسة? This is where I got my name. I was very curious with my dad's cameras and all the equipment that he had. He's not a photographer, he's just an engineer, but he is in love with antiques. So what happened is I was curious, I took the camera and I abused my friends at school. It was film cameras, I used to take pictures of my friends and developing the pictures and seeing all the reactions, and I fell in love with it. The first job that I had is to shoot furniture. And I thought, okay, I have no idea what I want to do. I like shooting people, I'm not a professional yet, and I started shooting tables, shooting chairs, I went to galleries, and I was all over the place. And then I was shooting stuff that doesn't talk back to me. So I'm like, this is not really interesting, I want to do more. So this is where, actually I decided to travel to India. I went to my parents, and I said, Mom, Dad, I want to go to India. And my mom goes like, Ahmed اتصرف معاها. And then he goes like, you know what, I'll send you to India, and I'm sure you're going to do great. It's going to build your personality, and I want you to kick ass. And this is where my life completely changed at 21. I traveled to India. I had my first camera, and I got lost. I don't speak the language. I was interested in the tribes, in the rituals, and in the places, and it changed my life on so many levels. It had me grow on so many levels because it's colorful, it's vibrant, it's different, and I wanted to prove for myself that I wanted to do something awesome. So this is where I had my very first solo exhibition in Cairo with my Indian collection. And this is where I said, okay, you know what? I want to be a travel photographer. This is how it all started. So something I really learned when I was very young, that a smile is an answer to everything. Having eye contact with people, smiling to them, it makes them feel safe. This is how I learned that I have to approach people. The first trip that actually it was a life-changing journey is the trip to Kilimanjaro. So apparently I noticed that I'm a person who is in love with nature. Feel very energetic and very happy and very curious when I'm just out there. So Kilimanjaro was very interesting because it's the highest summit in Africa apparently, so it is a challenge. And I didn't want to go back without summiting this mountain. And it was difficult. It is doable, but it is difficult. You face the altitude sickness, you doubt yourself if you're going to make it or not, physically and mentally. And this is where I exactly knew that it's not about the physical challenge, it's all in here. The second trip was the reason of a personal turmoil. So I decided I want to go to the end of the world, and I don't want to talk to anyone, and I want to do something that's for me. And it was a long trip. It was a long trip because it was just me and my camera on a 23-hour flight to climb 3 mountains that I have no clue about. I just threw my name and registered on a website, and it just went. It was a challenge because, as I said, it was a personal turmoil, so I had to reflect on a lot of things. I had the time to reflect on a lot of things in a beautiful setting. I was in the middle of the Andes Mountains, on top of beautiful scenery. It's all about, it was like there's ice here, there's forest there, the weather was amazing, and I felt the change. And as I said, the challenge of I'm gonna climb 3 mountains. So I had to think that I wanted to enjoy this. I wanted to enjoy this. I want to feel the now. I want to grasp every moment. And this is where I knew I was growing, the physical challenge. So I see my goals up there, and I I have to climb to the peak of the mountain at a certain time, because it was 11:10 exactly, and I had to get up there before 12, and it took me forever to get up there, and it was a challenge for me to go, and I almost gave up. I seriously almost gave up, and talking to myself over and over again that Coucla, you have to do it. There's no turning back, and this was a reflection at the moment of my entire life. It's like, if you have a goal, look at it, grasp it, don't calculate, just go. And every step of the way, with every hard breath, I thought to myself, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I wanna make myself proud. I think every one of us is gifted with something. It's either a talent, it's either something that they do, and the only thing that I do to express how I feel is a picture, basically. So you're gonna find a piece of me in every picture that I take. In my work, I take pictures of, I do billboards, I do advertising, I do commercials, so I don't think that people connect to these things. They connect to more personal experiences. So one of my work that actually got attention was a series called She Series. It's about how she feels. How she feels. It's a different female in every photo, but represents a certain feeling. But the captions were so dramatic and so real. So this is where I felt people are sending me messages and direct messages and the feelings of how they are relating to my pictures. So I said, okay, personal experience do touch people, the freedom of expression. And I think a human being should be expressive. And the most important thing is communication. This is very important. The way I communicate is by taking pictures. So you know these situations where you said you hear stories about people suffering and people going to have these hiccups in their life, and you say to yourself that it will never happen to you, and then overnight something is taken away from you. So I had this health hiccup a few months back, and it actually made me realize about the things that I should appreciate, because I never thought in one of those days that Coucla, the photographer who climbs the mountains and does this and does that and spreads positivity and all of that all of a sudden I'll be in bed for a month and a half and recovering and taking care of myself and all of that. It's just made me think and pause for a minute. Not for a minute, actually, for quite some time, to realize that I have to count my blessings and I have to appreciate the things that I didn't give much time for. And it made me realize to focus on health, focus on my mental health, focus on my physical health, and focus on the things that I'm missing. Because actually I used to take a lot of things for granted, apparently. I used to take my body for granted, I used to take my family for granted, and now that I have the time to sit and pose and I'm obligated to focus on the important things, it actually made me grow. There was an interview that I saw for Jane Fonda. A friend sent it to me, and she was speaking and she was saying that God doesn't come in ceremonies and weddings. God comes in very bad situations that makes you broken. And actually it doesn't break you, it actually makes you broken open. So this is something that I truly loved, and it represents my situation. It made me learn that in any hiccup, whatever it is, I should grasp it and feel it, whether it's grief, whether it's health problems, whether it's loss, that I have to take it in because it's a phase and it's gonna help me grow more. And it's gonna make me a better person. I'm grateful for a family. I'm grateful for being alive. I'm grateful that I'm able to walk use these legs and my back is supported. I'm grateful for friends. I'm grateful for love. I'm so grateful for love. And I'm so grateful for who I am today. Is to have good intentions every single day and keep that smile. I understand that behind that smile there will be misery and there might be a lot of stories, but keep that smile, keep that energy. Life is beautiful with all the hiccups, with all the turmoils, with all the challenges. Look at the bright side. دايما بص على نص كوباية المليان.